This podcast is brought to you by the following sponsors. Your San Diego County Toyota dealers. We've got what it takes. Fix Auto. Corky's Pest Control. And Lolita's Family of Restaurants. Hey there, sports fans. Christian Pedersen.
AB in the building, Aaron Bergen.
What? Yeah, that's right. I'm his hype man, and I'm his host today because Tommy Morris is not here. It's just the two of us breaking down.
See that space that's not between us? This is the void that Tommy has left behind. God bless your soul. The inmates are running the asylum today.
That's right, folks. We have officially gone off the rails. That's what playoffs does to us. It gets us excited.
Very excited.
And we're excited because we're here to talk the Division 5 bracket.
D5, guys. I mean, this year, 12 teams. First time ever they've expanded the bracket to 12. 4 of those teams are gone, so now we're in the Elite 8.
The Elite 8. And so let's get to that first game. We got Health Sciences taking on West Shores. Aaron, give me predictions.
This is going to be a big one for Health Sciences. The Surgeons out of Mid-City, San Diego. They have one of the most underrated prospects in the county in Josh Clark. He's a senior. He's a 6'2" guard that possesses a 42.91-inch vertical leap. If you don't believe me, I will show you the index card from the cream of the county where he performed said feat. Quite an impressive athlete and an impressive basketball player. They have a nice surrounding cast to go around Josh Clark. And I don't know much about West Shores except they struggled against a Mountain Empire team that Health Sciences rolled earlier this season. So I'm going to pick the Surgeons to get surgical in this game.
Slice them, dice them. Give me the Surgeons, baby. I think that you're right with Josh Clark. I'm going to say this. It's Health Sciences bracket to lose.
Agreed.
They are the best of the county in D5 right now by a significant margin. And I think that we're going to see that. And they got that first round bye, so we haven't seen them in playoff action yet. But when it comes down to it, I think that you're talking about an 8-seed West Shore or a 9-seed West Shores versus a 1. This is going to be big. This is going to be a 20-plus, 30-plus type of game. Health Science is going to run away with this one. Keep it moving. We've got San Diego Academy versus Southwest San Diego. Aaron, give me a pick.
You know what? The Southwest San Diego has been a surprise this year. I've actually had a chance to see them 2 or 3 times.
The Raiders.
Yeah, the Raiders have gotten better each game out. And, to their credit, they could have folded up tent after losing their starting point guard and best player from last season. On the eve of the season, he transferred to Montgomery. I mean, that was devastating. But they've picked up the pieces, and they've definitely done a good job, winning games and finishing above 500 in their league over, in the South Bay League. Given they're playing against a San Diego Academy, a team that I don't know much about, but I do know that a 38-31 win over the 12-seed Julian doesn't exactly make me exude confidence. So I'm going to pick Southwest San Diego. And you know what? This is a good story. This is a team that just has not had a lot of success in basketball over the past 5 years. I mean, they've had some years where they've gone 2-25, 2-24. It's good to see them have a little bit of success, of course, in a lower division in D5. But, kudos to the Raiders for continuing to play.
I'm not even going to say, though, that this is irrelevant success. With O'Farrell winning this last year, they transitioned nicely into a D4 team that add one piece or 1 or 2 buckets in that last game, and they're still going in the playoffs. Yeah. So we're talking about someone's going to come out of this bracket with some momentum and be a D4 squad next year. So, I think Southwest San Diego has just as good of a chance as any of the other 4 teams that got the bye. Mm-hmm. Maybe it falls off a little towards the bottom of this. I like Southwest San Diego to take this one. I think that we might hear our first Go Raiders chants here in San Diego.
Really? You weren't at Qualcomm? Okay.
Oh, now I'm sad. Keeping going, we got High Tech San Diego taking on Holtville. Another Vikings in the.
Can I ask you a question?
Lay it on me.
where is Holtville exactly?
It's northeast of where we are currently located, at the San Diego Prep Insider Studios.
Really?
Yes.
Cool.
Is that? I mean, that's not nearly specific enough. Like, there's a lot that's northeast of us here, but yeah, you'll take it. Aaron, break it down for us.
I'm going to pick the top seed, High Tech San Diego in this one. You know, High Tech has actually had a pretty good year. They have a senior point guard by the name of Mauricio Figueroa, who's been a very, very talented player for them. Actually had a chance to see him last year and then a couple of years ago in a showcase that I hosted. And, you know, I've thought the world of his game. He plays with great pace. He can shoot the ball from all over the court. Again, Holtville beat Bayfront Charter out of San Diego, which was the 6th seed. So credit to them for getting it done.
Yeah, one of the upsets.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I think that High Tech San Diego gets it done. They've got some talented pieces around Figueroa to kind of, make them go. And I think that they're going to move on to the next round.
I'm going to take the upset. I'm going to take the upsets in both these bottom bracket games. I think Holtville is, you talk about them beating up on Bayfront Charter. They beat up on Bayfront. When you put up 20-plus point wins in the playoffs, that says something. If this was a D1, we talked about in some of these D1 games being massive blowouts like San Marcos over West Hills, and you're talking about now San Marcos has some momentum. So there's no discrediting it at this level. You talk about a big-time playoff win of 20-plus, that's a big-time playoff win. So I'll take Holtville to keep going. Our last one, we've got High Tech Chula Vista at Guajome Park.
Guajome.
You call me my homie? Yeah, that's what's up. Aaron.
Okay. You know what? Let's talk a little bit about High Tech Chula Vista. I mean, because this is a team that has some really good pieces, some kids who could play basketball beyond high school, starting with Rafael Felix, the senior, one of the better shooters that you've never heard of in San Diego. I mean, the kid just, is just wet from outside. He's a very good player. And then, of course, they've got a lefty point guard, a junior by, oh my goodness, how am I forgetting my man's name? Because
it's the 6th podcast we've done in 10 minutes?
It indeed is the 6th podcast we've done in 10 minutes. But you know what? I'm going to have to cheat a little bit, guys, so forgive me while I do this. I'm going to go on.
I'll give my 2 cents on this one. I have Chula Vista in the finals squaring off with Health Sciences.
Interesting.
I think that Chula Vista, like you said, is unknown, and it's tragically so. If you want footage on them, we have a little bit of footage on them from when they took on O'Farrell, and to me, they were kind of a team that I walked away from going, they could put together any given night a big game. Yeah. So I'll take Chula Vista for the W.
You know what? Going back, Hassan Hunt, a junior. Between him and Rafael Felix, they're two of the more explosive scorers in Division 5. I mean, they're both capable for going for 30 points on the same night. I mean, they're that good. But I'm going to pick Guajome Park in this one.
I love it. We got some differences.
Yeah. They're a 2 seed for a reason. I mean, if you've actually, you look at some of their scores, they almost took out Rancho Buena Vista RBV at RBV. They almost, I think they lost to Tri-City Christian by 1. Neither are Division 2 and Division 3 teams that they're squaring off against and actually giving them a run for their money.
D5 is a misunderstood beast. It really is. The bottom of D5, you can kind of start to be like, well, that makes sense that team put up 25 points in a game, and you can start to make an argument that it doesn't deserve as much attention. But I'll bring up this, and this might be a completely wrong analogy, but Derek Carter Hollinger last year played at Division 5 O'Farrell. This year contributes at Open Division Foothills Christian.
Exactly.
So we're talking about guys that are standouts. They're not bad. They're not bad players at all. They're just not in the big environments.
Of course.
So these are games and players that you're looking like, man, that's a really good team that's going to win a really good game.
Which leads us to Guajome Park, which has a 6'6" Kyle, Kyle, you know,
Kyle knows. Kyle's watching.
yeah, Kyle better be watching. And then their backcourt, Christian Garrett, a junior. I mean, this is a kid who actually played, you know, big time AAU basketball as a youth. You know, he was on a pretty high level team. You know, he's at Guahomie Park only because, you know, of the educational opportunities that his parents saw at, you know, at the school. So you know, this is they have quality pieces, just like you mentioned. Same thing with Raphael Felix and Hassan Hunt. Hassan Hunt played for Coastal Elite. Raphael Felix played for the California Bearcats on their top team. So these are kids who
You got Clark and Health Sciences. You got kids at every corner of the higher seeded team in this bracket
that play against the higher level competition outside of their school. So, you know, this is nothing new to them. So I do think Guahomie wins it, but I think this is going to be a really close. This is going to be the closest of the games. Agreed.
So there you go. I mean, that's our take right now on Division 5. You can check back in with us in the next round after some of the dust settles, and we help educate Aaron on where exactly Holtville is.
Yes. I'm going to go get a map right now.
Map?
It's the thing on Dora the Explorer. No?
You're gonna ask Siri, right?
No, I'm not going to ask Siri.
All right. Well, we're gonna figure out our generational differences.
Kyle Grant, Guahomie Park Academy. Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kyle Grant, shout out to him. We're going to figure out our culture, our age gap differences on how exactly you find a place. And
Thomas Guide.
Okay, perfect. This is getting out of hand, folks. Let's talk about some basketball next week when we see you again for the. We're into quarterfinals next week or semis next week.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! This season's been flying by. Thank you very much for being a part of it, Aaron. Thank you very much to you, the fans,
Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely.
Great.
And we'll see you guys at a game.
Yep.